told you this would happen. It's really clearly obvious exactly why these companies do this. We're talking, of course, about a huge corporation that plays fast and loose with your hard-earned cash. And that clearly is why thousands every single day are deciding the ineptitude of this particular organization run by this man. Well, they've decided enough is enough, and they're simply not going to be paying any more. But this particular star has really played an ace card, whichever way you look at it. As ever, let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you on the clouds gathering here on the side of the River Thames. Can you see that? Very dark, isn't it? You see, this is summer. One day blistering, another day, well, looks like Dracula could be calling. Some people might say the same thing, of course, about this breaking news story. We'll have a quick wave, sorry, slacking. Yes, now, what's interesting, as we know, the disgraced BBC newsreader Hugh Edwards, well, is in court next month with all sorts of charges. And, well, you know, we have to say it's up to him exactly how that particular narrative plays out. One, of course, that could have been stemmed and stopped many months ago, particularly in the pay area of the BBC. You see, Hugh was the premier star of BBC News, News at 10, one of the highest paid people inside the corporation. But what emerged was the fact that not only was he still getting paid the full whack every month, having since, of course, been, how shall we put it, put on gardening leave last July, but still being paid this full amount, all due to the fact that this apparently was mental illness, and now what's emerged is a totally different narrative. We'll just leave that there for now. But only last week, you see, the BBC decided very prominently and very much in the public eye, the public domain, that they were going to request back £200,000 from the former star presenter. Now, as you can imagine, and as I told you at that point, it really doesn't matter about a request, you have to get legal. And the bottom line is that the BBC loosely said, we may look into going legal. They never will. If they didn't deal with Martin Bashir, they're certainly not going to go after a grainy £200,000 of your money. Now, what's interesting is Tim Davie, of course, was the man in charge, and what emerged was the fact that he was aware of certain thunderings around about last November time, but they continued to pay the salary. So where do we stand with the disgraced presenter? Well, according to a very well-placed source inside the BBC, despite the very public demand for the money back, as you can imagine, he's not bothered to respond. One might suggest he's got other pressing matters on his mind. Have the BBC pushed it since then? No. Are they going to? Well, according to that well-placed source, they want to see exactly how it pans out, and they're in no rush to secure the money back. If you don't pay your £169 a year, you could be fined, you could go to prison, but this man, allegedly in charge of one of the biggest organisations in the world, is he reprimanded? No. They simply buckle down and just hope that you'll forget. But of course the British public are not forgetting, and that's why so many thousands of people are basically saying no to the BBC licence fee. Can it come quick enough for you? As ever, I'd love to know what you think to this particular breaking news story in the comments below. And as ever, if you can, please like and share. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.